Hey, thanks again for that information on the area. I greatly appreciate it. Now I'm looking forward to doing business with you in the future. Hey guys, what's up? Long time no see. So we have acquired us a new farm, or say a new to us farm here. We're in Stitzer, Wisconsin. We'll be doing us another dairy farm here. I want to go take you guys over to the farm real quick. It's kind of a funny story how we have acquired this farm per se. So our uncle and aunt are going through a pretty messy divorce, and her resolution to make it a lot simpler was for our uncle to sell the farm. So he messaged us the one day, see if we'd be interested in selling it. It was back towards the beginning of this year. And we thought, yeah, we've always enjoyed coming out here as a kid. So, figured might as well take our shot at it, help keep it in the family for a little bit. He made us a pretty good deal on it. Only had to pay $250,000, and we got to keep the land and the equipment. We figured if we sold it for cheaper, it was less money that she could take to split it up. So we've kind of been out here since the spring, helping the uncle out some anyway, like we have been for years. So figured why not just buy it from him, help keep it in the family. And he said he might have some plans to buy it back after the divorce is done here in the near future, but kind of have to wait and see what we can make a go of it. And if he does end up buying it back, he's going to have to pay us at least a decent enough money for us to be able to go buy another farm to replace this one. As you can see, you got the neighbor's farm over there on the right. And yeah, we're getting closer to the driveway, or at least getting closer to it here on the township road here. Neighbor still hasn't, corn still needs to finish up growing, but everybody's done beans. I know the uncle's done beans, but he wanted the money from that. But he said we can go ahead and have all the money we get from the corn harvest. He was nice enough to leave us about 75 head of cattle, dairy cows already. And along with some silage, we got the chop already. And he did leave us keep the soybean straw to help with the TMR mix for them. So yeah, just right up here above, or right on the other side of this bridge here. Get crossing over here and park at the house, a new house, and we'll give you guys a rundown of all of our equipment we're going to be running around here. It's kind of a little bit of a mess around here because we kind of been trying to keep up with some stuff, but so to start us off here, we have us a Case IH 595 manure spreader. Got a nice Pat's manure system coming out of the dairy barn there. Got us a bucket for the front loader, and we have us a 756 International with a front loader on it. From helping Uncle out over the times, this is going to be the first thing that's got to go off of this farm. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Seems like it's lacking a little bit of power, and trying to shift gears for moving bales is not the greatest. But we got us some nice round bales of hay here, and then we got some soybean straw to help feed the cattle with. Over here we got us a little cattleman round bale trailer. Coming over here to what I call the hay storage barn. An old Case IH, or sorry, this is even an International 1590 hay bine. Along with a nice New Holland 900 series chopper with a hay pickup head. I contracted out our corn harvest since the uncle didn't have a corn head. And I looked into buying a corn head in this area. It was still about $8 or $9 grand for it, and local custom harvesting guys charge us about the same. They're about a little bit about half the price to just come out and chop it, and they had it done within a day. So can't really beat that on timing wise. Have us an old Knight real algae TMR mixer for the cattle. So we've got some silage in here already that's still fermenting. He had some haylage in there that he had chopped earlier in the year that I helped him with. And then I got just threw the corn silage in there. Then we have our key part of this system here, our 56 International silage blower. Run up here to the shop / cold storage. We do have us a couple augers for the grain bin. We have a New Holland 648 round baler hooked up to a Ford 9000 open station, no front loader. Pretty nice tractor for making hay all around. And that's our nice little shop that we have here. And over in a cold storage barn, got us just a single Parker wagon for basically hauling the corn around the farm into the bin instead of having to load up get the International up there and run the possibility of getting it stuck. So this is our main haul into town and picking up some sand for the freestalls. An old S1800 International. We have us an old John Deere 7000 Max Emerge. It's an earlier one with the dry fertilizer tanks on it. And an old 8350, I believe, no, sorry, 5100 Case IH seed drill. I think that's kind of the uncle's kind of gimmicky thing, is he just found this license plate in the ditch, so he figured he'd slap it on here to get it out of the ditch. Then you'll see our main workhorse of the farm here started doing a little bit of tillage, so we want to try to put some triticale in this field to help with the silage so we can keep some more hay next year. Then the plan kind of hopefully is after the triticale's off to just turn it to alfalfa and we'll have a decent hay field here. But we have ourselves a 6-basket old Vicon tedder here. And the main workhorse is this here 4630 open station. Nice chrome straight pipe that has a canopy on it. Then we have our little Glencoe 9-shank soil saver. Not doing too bad of a job, and this 4630's just about the right size to pull this. Have us a nice Vermeer rake. He bought this a couple years ago to help cut down some raking time, and of course all that happened. Couple of Forage King wagons here for our silage harvest. In this shop we have us the case header, or a little 820 15 foot, along with our 1460 International combine here hooked up with a 6-row corn header, an old 963, about just the right size for it. And then we just have us some old Alice disc that the uncle bought for cheap at an auction and just been rolling with it. So yeah, guys, it's gonna be a nice little start to the harvest, a nice little start to the farm here. Then he just left us the old Exus gooseneck cattle trailer, which works out great for our having us have our newer truck already. So I think what we're going to end up doing today is try to get the rest of this all tilled under so we can hopefully get the triticale planted here soon to get our for next year, so we have a nice bit of silage. And I can't say how much I love this 4630. It's such a great tractor for around here. Go ahead and get our get it dropped into the ground and get it taken off here. You guys can kind of see that we've definitely put some hours on this equipment around here. Yeah, it's a pretty messy divorce that's still getting finalized, but he's like, it's easier just to pass her the money than have to keep paying her, you know, a settlement on the farm, since eBay basically bought it whenever they had first gotten together. Ended up being that she was cheating on him because he was spending too much time on the farm. Well, he kind of slowed down and he asked us to come help, and then he ended up having to help us with some stuff, and she still ended up cheating on him. So he's like, I'm done with it for now. He goes, he's been stuck here for the last 40 years, or sorry, not last 40 years. He's been stuck here for the last 15 years, 15, 20 years. So he decided he's going to go take the money that he has left after the divorce and go travel around the world for a little bit. Go explore, since he hasn't been able to do that since his college years. So we decided, well, might as well at least try to keep it in the family for as long as we can. And I said maybe he might end up buying it back here in a couple of years after he's done traveling. We might end up moving somewhere else, or one of these other farmers around here might be looking to retire, because I know they're getting up there in age and might be able to help stay in the area some. Say this 4630, the one thing that it does not like is pulling this chisel plow uphill after we've already tackled some of the headlands here. Downhill's no problem, but the uphill's the pain. Yeah, some of the mods that we're going to have on here is we've got precision farming enabled. Then we are going to run with the moisture mod, which could be a blessing or could be a curse. Just due to whenever we're making hay, the hay actually has to dry down to a certain moisture level to make it actually become hay, otherwise it just sticks as grass. I've tried it out some on this save, and with my luck, every time I tried to mow grass to make it in the hay, about every time that I thought I had enough window, there was a surprise rain shower and kind of wiped our potential hay out. So, and we are going to be running with about 4-day seasons. Still deciding whether we're going to run it on the hard economic difficulty to try to make it as realistic as we possibly can, or go with normal to kind of help us in progression. But I think what we're going to do is I've talked with the local co-op, or let's say the local animal feed store, and they are interested in buying some corn stalk bales from us, because I guess what they've started doing to help make them some extra money is they'll take the corn stalks and turn them into shredded corn stalks, shred them up real fine, and they package them up and sell them as bedding. So I've kind of talked with them to get them on a program, told them I'll supply them with some if they pay us at least a decent price for them. Said this fresher out of the field that they can get them, the better. So once our corn's ready here, we'll end up getting it combined and thrown in the bin as much as we can at least, and then baling up some corn stalk bales, because we don't need them for mixing feed since we have all that soybean straw that our uncle left us. Please help give us a little bit of a boost, because our monthly payments right now we're looking at on our $250,000 loans about $7,500 a month. So looking at our bank account, we have enough to make the payment this month, and since our cows are, we kind of sold all the actual milking cows and kind of left the bred heifers and bred cows, and we're not looking for anybody to have babies until maybe starting in March of next year. So we're kind of going to need to help get some income for whenever the bank comes knocking for the loan. We'd hate to not be able to make the payment for a month and end up losing it, since our main goal is to keep it going and see if our uncle wants to possibly buy it back in a few years. Because I heard the neighbor down the road here from us is possibly looking to retire in a couple of years. Well, I'm still over the spot. Why don't we back up and hit that real fast? Got too busy talking and missed a little bit. So you guys, if anything you'd like to see us do in this series, we can try and get it incorporated some. I know we are in fact missing a slurry spreader right now, but we also don't exactly have a big enough tractor to pull a slurry spreader at the moment, since this is our biggest tractor. I would love to just kind of put a front loader on that 9000 Ford and use that as our loader tractor, since it has a lot better of a shifting pattern to be able to move bales with than that International. But getting kind of hard to find us a front loader for that 9000. So I'm thinking we might end up doing is possibly seeing what our financial situation is shipping that International down the road and possibly looking into buying a different older Ford, or see if we can find an old 4000 John Deere, 4000 series John Deere. Just because those are a little bit easier to shift around whenever we're moving bales and seem to be pretty reliable and pretty cheap on maintenance. So it's kind of a late start in the year to be reporting on here, but with us being so busy helping him out, buying the farm and all the loan paperwork and everything, figured no better time to start than whenever we officially took ownership here in the last week. Finished signing the papers on Monday of this week. So we've just kind of been doing our thing. Give us a minute here. That's why. Sorry about that. I forgot part of this was considered a field and part of this was not. To me, it didn't make much sense to have a little bit of a small little field here at the bottom of this hill. It's like, well, we might as well just plow that in with the rest of this grass field and make it one larger field so it's easier to handle. It looks like we actually might be running out of fuel here before we even finish up on this field. That is my one semi-complaint with this tractor, is we are going through a decent amount of fuel for as little as we've really done with it, because the most that we've done with it is we ran the pull behind chopper behind this, and I think that's really been about it, because we did most of our we did do a little bit of going with the hay bind with it. I do remember we did end up doing that. Man, I just can't stay on track today. But I know a majority of our work's been done with that 8000 because it's a pretty enjoyable tractor to operate. So yeah, I think in the next episode or so, we'll probably be about the next episode. I'll probably make one be on corn harvest here, since it is getting to be about that time of year and the corn's starting to dry down. Either that, or we might do an episode on us getting this field planted and traded cow, possibly. Gotta look at the timeline and make sure it's not too late to be able to plant that and get that chopped in time to be able to plant our alfalfa in here. Hopefully we're not too late. If we are, we might end up having to just get this tillage done and hitting it in the spring and just planting it straight to alfalfa, and just use our other grass fields we have around here, do the first cut and get it all chopped and in the silo to help with our feed situation, because we are running realistic livestock and enhanced animal systems. I'm not really sure there's that much of a conflict, but it at least makes us to where we can put in realistic feed uses, or feed usages I should say, since we are going to be running a pretty realistic feed usage for the cattle, just because the base game farm sim feed usage is a little bit under, so you're not really requiring to do as much acreage as you would be in real life to feed the cattle that you have. So get this field here finished up, do a little time lapse, and then I'll show you guys what all fields we own, take a little tour around the farm in the pickup truck. Don't exactly have a farm, little farm utility vehicle, so not fully in the budget. So yeah, I'll go through this last little bit in time lapse for you guys and get it all sorted out. I'll see you guys after that's done with.